medication's ridiculous. This is the squishmallow stuff you guys normally see. I wanted to sit on the ground today. So I'm sitting on the ground today. And let me tell you why. I have a sticky note. So, I wanted to just do my hair looks terrible. I wanted to do like I don't want to call it a life update. What do I want to call it though? Let's call it a random whispered ramble. Golly, that stuff would. I wanted to do like just a general kind of update of stuff and just a yap sesh, basically. That's what I'm thinking, is just a good random yap sesh. I will say that this is random. I don't know where I was going with that, but I was going somewhere with that. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about is my health. Let's just throw it on out there. I'm gonna start with, none of this has to do with me being an overweight individual, okay? So like, that's not why we're here to talk. I have had migraines for years, like years, and it has been something that I've been on and off dealing with. So first of all, let me start with, I think I've said this before, I used to be on birth control. If you are a person who is diagnosed with migraines, do not take birth control. It is the easiest way to die of a stroke. Like, it's unbelievable, and there are a lot of doctors who do not acknowledge it. So my advice is, if you are a person with migraines, please, 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 please go to your doctor and say, I have migraines and I am taking birth control. That is not okay, because it is scary. My voice cracked. It is scary how many women die a year because they just don't know, or they have strokes and they just don't know. So, all of that to say, if that's you, please, please go to a doctor and talk to them about it, because you really should not be on birth control. So, I got taken off birth control and put on a migraine medication. The migraine medication was also a antidepressant and anti-anxiety medication rolled into a nice combo of it also helped with sleeping. So, however, it's a class C medication. A class C medication, if you don't know what that means, it means that if you become pregnant, or you are currently pregnant, pause, relax, hold on, that you need to be removed off of it as soon as possible. It is not good to be on while you're pregnant. Now, my doctor said that people have been on it their entire pregnancy and been okay. If it works for you and you are good with it, that's awesome. So, when I first started taking it like 4 years ago, I didn't give a shit about that. I wasn't worried about that. I didn't care, right? Whatever. I was like 22-ish when I started taking the meds. I didn't care about that. My migraines got so much better. I have something called migraines with aura, which, if you don't know what an aura is, it's like, the way I can explain it is like, you know how if you look straight, you can see like your peripheral vision, like right here, like basically what they would call like under the eye and stuff, and like above it. So if you look straight, all of your peripheral vision, you get these, some people call them sparkles, some people call them confetti, whatever you want to call it, but like these like little visual things that you can see, but it's not actually there. So it's like, and it's like they're almost like colorful. And then also, I've also had an attack with it where I literally blacked out. Like, I literally lost consciousness because of not consciousness, but my eyes completely went black. I couldn't see. I lost all vision. Anyways, I also have a nice one. I don't also have one called an orbital migraine, which an orbital migraine is something where it controls the nerves. So you might feel a pain randomly, like in your hand or something. Well, I had one where it felt like somebody drove like a spike through my skull and I could feel myself bleeding, but I didn't actually bleed. Brains are very, very powerful, much more powerful than we give them credit for. So, all of that to say, it was great at the time. Well, you guys know I lost my job in January, late January, so I lost my insurance, obviously. So I had a 3-month supply, so it took me through a good portion, I don't know, March, give or take, a little bit late March. She said it would take somewhere around like a month and a half to 2 months to come out of my system completely, or maybe she said 3 months, I don't know, a long period of time to fully come out of my bloodstream because of the length of time I'd been taking in. So all of that is again to say, it didn't start really ramping up again until like last month. So it's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Well, actually at this point it's probably like a month. So, basically, eventually I gave up. I called, I got an appointment, I went to the appointment, I went on new medication. Now, why did I go on new medication? Because I am getting married in September. We know this, right? So, I don't want to get on a medication that's going to take 6 weeks to get in my system and another 2 months to get out of my system, because by that point, I don't know when I could fall pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Are we planning? No. Am I naive enough to think that it's never going to happen? No. So I just simply said, because we have talked about it being in the first year, which I know people are going to have confidence on, it's fine. It's okay. I want to have all the kids I have before 30, so we gotta get a move on. I'm 26, so all of that to say I didn't want to go back on that medication. When I came off of the medication, my world was rocked. Not only did my migraines come back in full swing, but it just everything. Like, my anxiety's back. I'm having panic attacks again. I wouldn't say my depression's back. I just would say I am in not a good mental state. And by that I mean, I'm not gonna like hurt myself or anything, but by that I mean, I'm in like basically what I would consider like mood swings. I don't know. I felt like I was manic. Like, I felt like I was a manic person, because like when I was happy, I was so happy, and then when I was sad, I was like, it was like a drop of a hat, and I would just want to cry immediately. And then if something got on my nerves, I'm going into like a blackout rage. Like, I'm not an angry person. So like, this roller coaster ride was ridiculous, and I was like, I'm not doing this. So that's what actually took me to go to the doctor, because I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And one of the biggest issues for me was I really thought I had managed my mental health, and to realize that I hadn't was really tough for me, like really tough. And I had a really hard time with it, and coming to terms with it was rough. I feel like I'm doing better. I'm on an unbelievable amount of medication now. I've got supplements. I've got a new medication that basically my doctor told me is my only other option. So if this doesn't work, it's nothing. Which is really disheartening to hear someone say, because my other medication was working so well. But like, I have to be willing to make sacrifices for the greater good, and I want to have at least a kid, so that's the greater good. That little piece of hair was driving me nuts. So that is what I've been dealing with. So I know my energy's probably been off, and I've been kind of inconsistent and stuff, and I wanted to kind of get more into the health portion of that, because I feel like that's important. I'm not doing it for sympathy. I don't need sympathy, but like, that's my and get people to RSVP, saying that, you know, there are certain people that we thought would show up that aren't even telling us whether they are or aren't showing up, which is rude, by the way. If somebody invites you to something, RSVP, okay? But also, like, I've been asked a million questions by a million different people, and everybody wants you to bend something to their will, and I'm like, okay, I'll do this. Like, the florist, she wanted me to add other colors to my literally 2-colored wedding, and so I added other colors because she said it would be pretty. Okay, so that's what I do. Then she sends me the revision, and I ask her, she sends me the, like, drawing of the plan or whatever, and there's no blue. Like, nobody's got blue, nobody's got a flower. Like, it's just not cute. Like, it would look bad. We'll talk about that at some point as well. We probably won't talk about it today, but I will go into that at some point. And then I email them back, and I'm like, listen, I want this, and I want this, and the bare minimum is what she revises. I ask for a blue flower instead of a white flower. She adds a blue flower to only mine, not the bridesmaids, not anybody else's, just mine. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you and play semantics. Like, you're an idiot, and I hope you know you're an idiot, because I'm not gonna play semantics with you. And she's given me nothing but problems since the beginning. Like, I'm just like, if I had that moment and we didn't get to choose her, we'd already paid the deposit through like a package we chose at the venue, so like I couldn't have gone with anybody else. But if I had that time back, I tell my mom, like, listen, when you talk to the venue lady, tell her we're gonna do our own flowers, because that's what I wanted to do, and then we got convinced to do something else. It would have been so much better had I done my own. So much better. But anyways, but I feel like it's always like, can you do this? Why can't I do this? I have given in to so many things, not that I didn't want to do, but that to just be like, I don't care. Like, I want this. Like, I give the groomsmen a very, very, very vague idea. Like, this is what I want. I want it to be white button-ups with a green tie that we provided and jeans. That's it. I don't care the wash. I don't care anything else. Just white button down, the tie, and jeans. And everybody's like, what kind of jeans? Whatever. I don't care. Like, I'm giving you the reins because I want everyone to dress to their personality. I'm also in life. This isn't really a wedding thing. This is just a life thing. I'm tired of being the bigger person. Like, I'm tired of it. My entire life, I've been the bigger person. I've allowed people to say and do whatever they want. I've allowed people to treat me poorly, and I always turn the other cheek, and I always let people just do whatever they want to me and say whatever they want to me, and I am absolutely sick of it. People don't show up for me, but then demand even for me to show up for them. I'm done. I'm sick. I'm done of it. I'm like, I am at my wit's end with it, and like, I have actually, like, one really good thing this wedding has done, other than like me getting married and like having a good time, is I'm finding my backbone for people that I never would have found it for, because I'm done. Like, I'm not dealing with this mess anymore. If you don't want to be a part of my life, then don't. But this is not a one-way road where I'm a part of your life and I show up for you every single time, and you don't even so much as pretend to show up for me. Like, I'm not doing it anymore. And more importantly, if you show up for other people, then you better make sure that they're doing their thing. Because it's like, you know, when people are always like if you're at a restaurant and somebody, like the server, is giving another table like 5-star service, and at the same time they're giving you 1-star service. I have a friend that says, you better hope they tip well, because I'm surely not going to, which is kind of funny, right? Because like, you better hope that if you're putting all your eggs in one basket, that basket is fruitful. Because if you don't, and you put all your eggs in that basket, and that basket abandons you and doesn't help and is an ass, then you've made that choice. Don't come coming back to me going, oh, but I actually, no, peace until I realized whose peace was I keeping. Because, like, it's not your peace that you're keeping. It's not your peace that you're worried about. It's not your peace that you're, like, trying to make sure is okay. It's everybody else's, and I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I wanna be the TikTok sound where it's like, the TikTok trend where it's like, I'm no man's peace. I don't want to be a single person's peace. I want you to text me and be like, nope, I'm done. Like, I absolutely am so sick of it. Because, and one thing I will say is, like, if you've spent your whole life being the bigger person and allowing yourself to get walked all over, when you stop allowing that behavior, expect all hell to break loose. Like, expect people to be furious, because that's what I'm dealing with right now. People are like, well, you've never had a problem with this before. Yeah, because I was trying to be nice. Like, excuse the hell out of me for trying to be a good person. Like, no, I have tried to be nice over and over and over again, and to no avail. So whatever. Anyways, I feel like I should have one more topic. I don't want to talk about kids right now. Let's see. Well, should we talk about kids? Let's talk about kids. Why not? It's kind of a happier topic. So I know what I was going to talk about with this topic, and that's kind of depressing. I don't really want to talk about that right now. So I am excited to have a kid. Like, really excited to have a kid. I want the whole experience. Like, I just feel like I'm ready. Like, I feel like I feel like this is such a cringy conversation. I just feel like I'm, like, ready to have that responsibility. I'm ready to, like, take care of another human being and, like, just grow in that way and just be a parent. Like, I just feel like that'd be so fun. I would love to stop renting this place, but I think realistically speaking, I will probably still be pregnant here. Like, not much probably, but I would assume, oh no, if I were a gambling woman, which I am not, I would probably think I'd be pregnant around, like, the beginning, like, I would say, like, January, February time. I'm supposed to go on a 2-week cruise in August, of next year, so I'm really hoping that I'm not pregnant, or have had the kid by that point, so I don't care if I'm pregnant enough, like, if I'm, like, 3-4 months pregnant, like, that's fine, as long as I'm, like, early enough that it's not like I'm at risk of giving birth in 2 weeks, you know. So I gotta get that under control. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so that is what that is. We'll see. I really want to go on that trip too, so we will see. That's kind of like my only chance, like, to do it, because after that, I mean, I'll travel with my kid, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been solo traveling with my parents recently, like, not like a lot, but a couple times recently. Like, when my fiance doesn't want to go, I just go with my parents, and, like, I don't know how he'll be with that. We'll see. I'm gonna tell you one thing about me, man. I'm a random rambler. Very, very random. Did I tell you guys I redid my living room? The most random shit ever. Also, I wanted to mention this. I organized this little section here. I know it doesn't look probably any different to you guys because you've never seen it, like, face on, but this is called I call this my animal cube. It is, what is it? It's a 5x3. I had to count it. And of course, it's one of those ones that you can put in, like, any position. And I got this thing on Amazon, and I got these bins here on Amazon, and then that is from, like, Lidl's or something. I've got Funko Pops. You can't see that at all. We're going for a low 5 vibe. There we go. Paddington. And right here is the Mary Poppins one I've shown you. And then of course there's, well, you can't see that, but there's books one shelf down from it. But a lot of this, like this stuff, and that's fish filter media, and that's dog stuff, dog treats, rabbit stuff. Y'all know I got animals. And then these are like fleece blankets to put in the cages of my animals. That's glucosamine for dogs. My dogs have hip issues, so I always have to have glucosamine. These are both glucosamine stuff. A lot of these have like random stuff in it. This is a blanket, some dog treats, and some, I like to have gift bags on deck in case we have a birthday that we need to have a bag for. I reorganized this debacle here. I'm trying to take this room one thing at a time because I gotta get this room ready for when my friend comes for the wedding. And I'm taking it like one step at a time because it needs to be deep clean and organized. I want to do a room tour. I wanted to do a room cleaning and organizing together, but I don't want to face the backlash off the internet. I don't want people to be like, you're disgusting. It's not junk, it's just disorganized. It needs to be organized. So, there you go. I have a candle making drawer. I want to say I put this stuff in the drawer below this one. Yes. You can't see it, but it's the one right under here. Also, I have a bunch of these little Lego sets. I would love nothing more than to be able to put them together, but I do not want to move them, so I will be waiting until we move to do all these Lego sets. I have so many good ones. I am very excited. I've shown you them. I've been asked about the Squishmallows. I've done 2 videos on the Squishmallows already. Once I get this room organized, we'll do an organization. I'll like show you this room, and we'll start